Welcome to the world of bass guitar, the heartbeat of every band. Whether you're a total beginner or leveling up your skills, this course will guide you step by step, from laying down smooth grooves to rocking powerful bass lines. By the end, you won't just be playing notes, you'll be driving the music. Let's plug in, feel the rhythm, and make the bass your voice. This is your journey. Let's get started. Lesson 1.
Let's get ready to learn proper right hand technique. Now, when we're learning proper right hand technique, know that there's lots of ways to have right hand technique. What we're going to cover in this course covers about 90% of all bass playing. Now, keep in mind, like I said, even though we're going to use a 2-finger sliding technique, there are other uses for different versions of playing. What a bass sounds like plucked with your fingers. Here's the same thing with a pick. Notice they have a really different sound. Sometimes in a recording studio, one sound is better than the other. When we use the pads of our fingers, the soft, pliable parts of our fingers, we get a different sound than using the edges of our fingers. If we use the edges of my fingers or the tips, it would sound like this. It's very common for a beginning bass player to feel like they need to physically pick the strings instead of roll their fingers off. And we're going to shy away from that at this moment because we're learning the basics of playing the bass. Later on, you'll actually use it for chords. So even though there are uses for just about any way to play the bass, we're going to be really specific in saying that we're going to use the pads of our fingers. So our first step to understand what that means is we're going to take the thumb and plant it where we plant it, and it doesn't matter where we plant it. It could be here, could be here, could be here, could be anywhere on our bass guitar. What matters is that your thumb is planted. It just kind of stays there. One of the things that we're going to think about when we place our thumb is that the angle of our thumb is flat. So our thumb doesn't curl in and give extra tension where we don't need it to. So flatten that thumb out wherever you decide to put it, and we'll be okay for now. So the other thing that we're going to think about is we're going to touch our strings with the pads of our fingers. So when I talk about the pads, we're talking about this meaty part of our finger versus the very tips. So our thumb is going to go down wherever it goes down, and then we're simply going to touch the pads on the strings. So once we have the pads on the strings, it doesn't matter what string it's going to be for right now, but now we kind of know what that feels like. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do a pre-bass technique, so we're not really playing our bass yet. But what we're doing is we're just sliding the fingers across the strings. We're not really trying to make noises quite yet with our bass, but we're just sliding the fingers across the strings. And we're starting at the lowest string, so the lowest to the ground, the first string, and we're just coming up and just sliding it across the strings. So once you're comfortable sliding your fingers on the pads across the strings, we'll see you in the next lesson.